Good morning. Good morning, you guys, and welcome to the First Cup. My name is Sonia McCullough Lockridge, and I am your host. And I joy to drink my first cup of coffee with you. So this morning we don't have the little stand with the book on it because Dee has simply blown it out of the park for chapter 6 of The Friendship of Women. The Friendship of Women. She has blown it out of the park. I applaud her. She's amazing. This portion of her book is on point. I love it. 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 But today is March 1st. And today we are reaching into our book and or journal stack to pull out something new. Now, as soon as we are finished with the reading of The Friendship of Women, we will start a new book. And as of right now, I don't know what that is, but we will start it as soon as we are finished with this book. And since we're on chapter 6, and today we're on chapter 6, and it has 13 chapters in it. And we could probably go to 14 and do a little after reading discussion. So 6 from 14 is 8. So we have at least 8 more days in the Friendship of Women, according to my calculations. We have at least 8 more days, another week or so, give or take, in the Friendship of Women. But today we're talking journals. We're talking journals that we're pulling from the stack today. And because my friend bought me a journal on Saturday, I just had to share it with you. It is an amazing journal. And I have some other journals here as well. And so right now on the Good News Sunday Show, my other channel, we are studying prayer. That is our topic for the balance of the year, is prayer. And so that study title is The Importance of Prayer Study. And it kind of sounds like TIPS, T-I-P-S, The Importance of Prayer Study. And I have designed several prayer studies. And since I am the owner of Keyword Bible Studies, each one of the studies walks us through a particular word in the biblical text. And so there's a bit of duplicity out there in that Bible words do not always mean what words mean in our English language. And so therefore we study words. So when we're reading the biblical text, we will have a foundation of understanding what biblical words mean. We're not just going to assume that we know what they mean. We're going to study and figure it out. So this is one of my journals that I designed, and there's several, and they will be available in my shop, in the Keyword Bible Study shop on April 1st. April 1st. They will be in the Keyword Bible Study shop April 1st. So that's that journal. The next journal I have is I picked this up at the dollar store, the Home Finance Bill Organizer. And this was, I think it was $3 or $4, but it's a very nifty little journal. Very nifty. I like it a lot. And I'm going to start using it today for the month of March. I will begin the use of this journal today. So that's that. And then, of course, there's your standard sketch journal that you can sketch in. And this one, I believe, is blank, but I deem it to be a journal too. It's just a journal where I may be more in a picture format than a word format. And finally, we have the journal that my friend bought me on Saturday. And we were talking to the owner of a store here in Murfreesboro called Quinn's, and we were looking at these journals, and Quinn said that, or the worker there, excuse me, it may or may have not been Quinn, I don't know, but the worker there was telling us that somebody at Christmas time said that this journal should be the journal that everyone gifted everyone from now and forever and always. The one I'm about to show you. Brace yourselves, because it is a needed and necessary thing. And the title of it is, I'm Dead, Now What? I'm Dead, Now What? So she bought one for herself, and she bought one for me, and we are going to fill in the blanks. We're going to fill in the blanks. So if something happens to us, if we die, and we're all headed that way, contrary to popular belief, we're all on our way to meet our Maker. This is designed by Margaret Rubino, and the press company is Peter Pauper Press, and from White Plains, New York. I'm dead, now what? Yeah, a Christmas gift one should get everyone. I will try and find the link, and if I can, I will link this necessary, essential document that should be prepared in advance for what we know is coming. We know. Now, getting back to the Friendship of Women, and that was such a beautiful friendship gesture for her to purchase one for me and herself. Such a beautiful friendship gesture. And she's a friend. She is a very good and dear friend to my heart. And the Lord has blessed me with many over the years. And I'm thankful for each and every one of them. They all brought something to me that I wasn't aware of. So, D, the Friendship of Women, chapter 6. I am just going to go into chapter 6 and read some of the things that she has to share, because they are so prevalent, so very, very prevalent. And I have marked them. In her book. That's why I like to buy my books, because I have a tendency to write in them. That's what I do. Now, she also shares several significant Bible verses, and I will mention them. We're not going to read them today, but I will mention them. But I'm going to read this paragraph to you from page 108 of her book, The Friendship of Women. Paul exhorts us to carry each other's burdens. The word he uses for burdens refers to the temporary overburden that a sister may be carrying, as distinct from the everyday load. He refers to Galatians 6:5 and Galatians 6:2. When we are temporarily overloaded or overburdened due to the stress of death, divorce, illness, and so on, we definitely need the supportive help of our sisters. We need someone to come alongside and help shoulder the overburden. The best way to do this is by empathizing, weeping with those who weep. Your quiet and listening presence will help absorb some of the pain and relieve some of the burden. If we attempt to deny the burden by pointing out blessings, we add to the pain. Solomon clarifies this with similes, like one who takes away a garment on a cold day, or like vinegar poured on soda, is one who sings songs to a heavy heart. Too much cheerfulness, or the offering of a solution, intensifies grief. Too much cheerfulness or the offering of solutions intensifies grief. And she quotes Romans 8:28 as the thing not to say. And she says, I understand this in part before my husband's illness, but oh, do I understand it now? Even cards can twist the knife by giving you a little punch. When my husband was dying and suffering incredibly, I'd open up a card that said, all things work together for the good of those who love God and are called according to his purpose. Romans 8:28. And she says, I wanted to scream. How insensitive. I know the above verse is true, but there is a time to speak and a time to be silent. High tide grief calls for empathy, not solutions. Y'all, this chapter 6 of the Friendship of Women is a necessary portion that all of us women could benefit from reading. Each and every woman alive could benefit from reading this portion of Dee's book. And maybe that's why it sold over 1 million copies. She also goes on to say, don't criticize the person in despair. Provide comfort. Be patient. And then finally she says, hurting people may not ask for help. And then she mentions the multiplied burden of grief and shame, where a child may have drifted from the faith and may be in the midst of drug or alcohol addiction, and we sometimes act as if that is not going on. But she lingers in the book of Galatians, and she also cites Galatians 6:9, Galatians 6:2, Galatians 6:5. So I believe that the book Galatians 6 is probably a portion of the text that we should read in regards to the friendship of women. And we will read that portion of the text on the very next time that we have, or that I have with you, the first cup. This particular cup of coffee is warm, not hot, because I let it sit for a little while before I begin to consume it. So, hopefully and prayerfully, I will see you the next time, which hopefully and prayerfully will be tomorrow, for the next first cup. This is Sonia McCullough-Lockery signing out. Thank you, and be blessed in the Lord on this very, very day.